It is trade deadline day in Major League Baseball. The Phillies have made a move for Wilson Ramos, not for Bryce Harper, as a lot of Phillies fans wanted last night, but Bryce Harper now apparently off the block again. Tony Del Grasso is here. I am Adrian Fecchio. So we're going to discuss deadline day. We're going to talk about Wilson Ramos. We'll discuss the Cabrera trade. We'll talk Bryce Harper, too. I guess we'll start with Harper. So we got a tease last night. Harper was on the trade block, but now it seems like the Nationals have pulled him back.
Yeah, Rizzo just announced, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes ago, supposedly, that they've pulled him back off the market. This was something I think a lot of people, if you just use common sense, you figured this was a potential of happening, of the Nationals at least considering trading him. We talked about this on this show. I feel like it was either March or April, actually. But I remember saying, if the Nationals fall out of contention, they absolutely have to consider trading him. There's almost no chance he resigns. So, you might as well get some. Just like the Machado situation in Baltimore. Might as well get prospects back for him instead of letting him walk for free. We just checked the standings again. The Nationals are 5.5 games back in the East and 5.5 back in the wild card. So that's, it's definitely doable, but it's going to be tough for them to even make the playoffs at this point. So it looks like he is staying after all. But again, if I'm the Nationals, I would probably pull the trigger on that.
Yeah. Here's the problem, though. If they really only put him on the trade block last night, it's not enough time to put together packages. You have one day. That's it. That's all you got. I know Chip Kelly and Rex Ryan, Rex Ryan. It only took them 10 minutes to work out a trade for LaShawn McCoy, but this is baseball. It's a little bit different.
Yeah, a lot of organizations. I shouldn't say a lot, but just about all of them, if not all, will like to physically send scouts and look at these top prospects and see them in person a couple times before they make big deals like this. That was definitely a factor. But again, if the Nationals are smart, they should have actually been doing this as low key as possible for a few weeks now, considering
yes, I agree,
all year long. So they only have themselves to blame. And realistically, the Machado trade kind of set the market on this. The two situations were almost identical. So you would think that the teams that were seriously considering Harper were essentially just offering the Machado package, maybe the Machado package slightly tweaked.
Yeah, and that was the thing. It's like, all right, if you were the Phillies, at least you kind of had a package ready to kind of send over their way if they were interested in Harper. But obviously, no really point of even talking about this because it's not going to happen. But something that did happen for a player to be named later, which is going to be Rhys Hoskins. I'm just kidding. So the Phillies get Wilson Ramos from the Tampa Bay Rays. So they add a catcher. Maybe you could help out with the defense and game calling for even teaching some of the younger guys on the roster, Knapp and I'm blanking Alfaro. So what do you think about the acquisition of Wilson Ramos?
I think this is a low-key, really good move, actually, that I think is going to help them out maybe more so than people might realize at first. Wilson Ramos was an all-star a couple of years ago.
Yes, he was.
Is absolutely no doubt about it a clear offensive upgrade over Alfaro and Knapp. At this point, it's still safe to say he's a pretty clear upgrade defensively too. I know Alfaro has the great arm, but he still struggles receiving the ball fairly consistently. He's getting better as each passing day goes on, no doubt about that. But we've had trouble with pass balls this year in big situations. He's not a very good pitch framer, blah, blah, on and on. So Ramos will be an upgrade over that. And like I said, clearly an upgrade offensively too. Hits for better average, gets on base more, has pop in his bat. So he pretty much makes the Phillies, because for 102 games this year or wherever we're at, Phillies were pretty much throwing an automatic out at catcher no matter who they started. And Ramos definitely changes that.
Yeah. All right, so there's also been rumors about the Phillies potentially landing an outfielder, whether that was Adam Jones or now the other rumors are Andrew McCutchen. But I feel like Nick Williams' emergence has kind of, well, we don't really need an outfielder anymore, basically. Aaron Altera obviously has struggled, but the last 39, 40 games, he's hitting over 300, just about 400 on base percentage, 500 slugging. He's got like 7, 8 homers in the last month and a half. He's been outstanding.
Yeah, I agree. See, when you're trading for a guy, obviously you have to see where's he getting taken at bats from, how often is he going to play, and just like I guess we'll kind of tie in the Cabrera thing to this too. Nick Williams at this point, to me, needs to play every day. I was not one of his biggest fans coming into the year. I totally admit that, but he's absolutely earned the right at this point. If you get a guy like, say, McCutchen or Andrew Jones, I understand the thought process. You pretty much platoon him and Williams in right field, or either of those guys in Williams in right field, I should say, with the lefty-righty matchup. But again, Phillies have to keep into perspective everything right now. Nobody thought they were going to be quite this good, and the bottom line is this is still a developmental year for the Phillies. Yeah, if you can make the playoffs and make it run, absolutely go for it. But they really need to keep, their eye on the ball, so to speak, and understand that the development of guys like J.P. Crawford and Kingery and Nick Williams are just as important as really the bottom line at this point. Which again ties into the fact that no, I don't really think they should add an outfielder because of that reason. And same thing why I didn't really like the Esteban Cabrera addition, because obviously getting a guy like Cabrera, he's going to play pretty much every day. And with J.P. Crawford coming back soon, that means that J.P. Crawford is now relegated to a bench role pretty much. And I don't like that. I just feel like everyone's forgetting about J.P. Crawford, or forgetting how good of a prospect he is, how little at-bats he's had in the major leagues. Need to give him time. And especially with how poor Cabrera is defensively, and the Phillies already are not a good defensive team.
Yeah, and he's 32, so his range is going to be limited too.
Yeah, sorry, I'm kind of rambling here. So
it's okay, keep going.
No, I don't like the Cabrera the Cabrera trade. It's like I said, it's not only that they gave up Kilame, which you could debate back and forth on what his ceiling actually is or isn't. But like I said, the bottom line is it's taking away at bats from. I want J.P. Crawford to learn and develop down this playoff run here, down this playoff stretch. You get a lot of valuable experience from fighting for a playoff spot. So now that Cabrera's here, that means him, Kingery, or Franco is going to be on the bench every night. And yeah, it certainly gives them more depth. It certainly makes them a better team in the present. I just don't think – I don't know. And actually, I shouldn't say that, because if Cabrera's getting the majority of starts at shortstop, he might end up giving up more runs than he creates. So Phillies need to be careful with that.
Yeah. So yeah, that's an interesting point you make, because it seems like you don't even necessarily care what they gave up. It's more so that they're taking the at bats away from Kingery and Crawford. Because the interesting thing about Kilame is, see, I trust the guys at the Thunder. They watch the Eastern League. There's 12 teams in the Eastern League. Trenton and Reading, they play each other a lot. So John Moses, he's been the play-by-play guy there for 5 years now. And quite frankly, when I asked him about Kilame, I did a video on this. If you guys have watched it already, he's not high on him. He's just like, yeah, he's mid-90s guy. His breaking ball comes in and out, and he doesn't have a third pitch. So he sees him as a bullpen guy. So while he was ranked in the top 100 prior to the start of the season, John was like, yeah, I don't see him as a top 100 guy. So that was interesting to hear from those guys, to hear that. I know that Kyle is a Kilame guy. I know that he was high on him in spring training. Kyle goes to spring training every year, and he watches everybody, and that was the guy that stuck out to him. So you got two different perspectives. You got the Thunder guy saying one thing, and you got Kyle saying another thing. And as for me, I don't know who the fuck he is. All right, I know who he is. Okay, I've heard of the name, but I've never watched him pitch. So how can we actually have an opinion on him if we've never seen him play? So it's hard for like us, the fans, really to have a say in the matter. But like to hear that from the Thunder guys, I'm like, okay, maybe Kilome isn't as good as maybe we thought he was, or as high as he's ranked.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in the same situation. If you have never actually seen him pitch, all I could go off of is his stats and what people say that have seen him pitch. Yeah. I mean, just basing off his stats, obviously his biggest weakness is his control. But again, for like 21, for a 21-year-old kid, there's been plenty of guys in the major leagues who have turned into really good pitchers once they figured their control out.
Yeah.
So it's, to me, a guy, even if his ceiling is a good reliever, to me that's kind of giving up a lot for a 2-month rental of a guy I personally don't even want. So,
yeah. I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you. Actually, you know who we did forget to talk about? We did forget to talk about some pitchers. Did you have any interest in getting a starting pitcher at all?
Kind of. Like I said, I think the bullpen is more of a pressing issue. And I was down for the idea of the kind of killing two birds with one stone of adding a starter and then moving either Pivetta or Vasquez into the bullpen. Because I either of those guys could take multiple innings, obviously add depth and make the bullpen significantly better.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to take a look at some comments and then we'll get out of here. So Philly 500 is in the chat. What's up, man? Philly 500 wanted Machado bad. Some other guys want a pitcher. And somebody's asking if I'm going to be doing training camp recaps. Here's what I'll say about training camp recaps. I will not be doing recaps. I actually don't take training camp that seriously, or as seriously as many of you do. And the reason why is I've seen it countless times. Curtis Marsh had a strong training camp like 5 years ago, and he stunk. I see this all the time. Patrick Robinson stunk last year in training camp. Look how good he was during the regular season. This happens each and every year. You have your studs. Sometimes they, materialize. And then you have your studs who don't. So we see this each and every year. Wendell Smallwood was supposed to be a stud, and he stinks. So that's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, I think
I know this is a Philly show. I'm sorry.
No, well, I think the only thing that matters about training camp is the injuries. Injury
report. True. Yes, that's actually 100% correct.
Significance. That's
actually yes, injuries is like the big thing. Nobody get hurt.
Yeah. What's the old saying? You can't win the Super Bowl in training camp, but you could lose it.
Yeah, that's true. Although there were many instances where we thought we lost the Super Bowl last year. It never happened.
That's true.
Like 1,800 injuries. They won it all. All right. You got any final thoughts? Anything else you want to say? Do you hate the Yankees because they traded for everybody?
I have kind of always had a I don't want to say a love-hate relationship, but a hate-respect relationship with the so yeah, I'll leave it at that. I don't know. I guess there's still a possibility of Chris Archer being traded. I feel like we would have heard more noise about it, though, if it was going to happen. Yeah. They had bullpen armor, too. Again, there's still time for it. So we'll see here. But definitely like the Ramos trade. Not really a fan of the Cabrera trade. And it's a shame Bryce Harper isn't going anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, Bryce. Yeah, that got me excited last night, and then I'm like, thinking to myself, I was being real. I'm like, there's no way they can make a trade in less than 24 hours. There's just no way. But yeah, now it's not going to happen at all. So there you go. All right, that is Tony D, aka Tony Del Grasso. I am Adrian Fedke. Trade deadline special. So we're going to end this show. You know what's going to happen? They're going to like trade for somebody big in like 15 minutes.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. And then I'm going to have to cam up and do a video. So
got exactly 30 minutes left.
Yes, we do. We got an update. Somebody in the chat said that. Hold on. Yep. Phillies traded for Aaron Loop from the Blue Jays.
Okay, there's the arm.
There's the yeah. Let's take a look at his statistics real quick. Oh, they got a lefty at least. Let's see here. 4.54 ERA. That's his walk rate. Let's see. He's got 13 walks in 35 innings. He's got 42 strikeouts in 35 innings. Okay. I would have rather had Jake Diekman or something.
They probably like him better than Austin Davis.
Yeah. So you don't get Zach Britton, you get Aaron Loop. There you go. There's your consolation prize. So they made little moves today, just small moves. Maybe not going to move the needle too much, but it could still help out the team in the long run.
Let's not forget, though, Phillies still have all these assets that they could potentially make a move or moves this offseason, too. It all doesn't have.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be right now. Nope. All right, so there you go. So hey, they made a trade. They did something. Two things today. World fucking champions. All right, we are ending the show now. That's Tony Del Grasso. I'm Adrian Fedke. Take care. See you.